Hi everyone, Lawrence here, and I'd like to welcome you into the Movieverse. Today we're going to be reviewing Sonic the Hedgehog 2. So following the events of the first movie where Sonic defeated Dr. Robotnik and left him stranded on the Mushroom Planet, Sonic has fully settled into Green Hills with Tom and Maddie Wachowski as their adopted son. However, their peace is short-lived as Dr. Robotnik has returned with the help of Knuckles the Echidna, the last of a warrior tribe that seeks to reclaim the legendary Master Emerald. Now, the Master Emerald is an ancient relic that grants the user the power to bend reality to their will, and Knuckles believes that Sonic is the key to finding it. After being ambushed by Dr. Robotnik and Knuckles, Sonic is rescued by Tails, a two-tailed fox that idolizes him and came to warn him about Knuckles. Sonic and Tails set off on a globe-trotting journey to find the Master Emerald before it can fall into the wrong hands. I'm really looking forward to reviewing this movie, so with that out of the way, let's dive right into the discussion.
Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah. I love this movie. I ain't gonna lie to you. I got criticisms of it, but I don't even care.
Yeah.
This movie even made me not care about the humans in it. They've done everything I needed for this movie. I ain't gonna lie.
Bro, like, is it even possible?
I can be critical. Go ahead, sorry.
Is it even possible not to enjoy this film? I don't think it's humanly possible not to enjoy it. But I don't know.
I think as well, like thinking of where they came from. First Sonic movie, it's just leap and bounds ahead of the first in every way, like from the original Sonic design to the story and pulling from the source material. I just thought it was equally. I thought it was amazing.
Yeah, after watching that first movie, it had no right to be as good and like as faithful as it is. Like just out of nowhere, it's like they realized that we really need to make up for the last movie, which was like just downright. It wasn't like awful, but it just didn't do it justice. It didn't do like the Sonic Legacy justice. And this movie just doubled down. It went over and beyond. Like it just far straight out went what it was what it was like expected to do. And I think I'm really grateful for that, man. I think this will go down in history as like one of the best video game movies. And I know that's like a big statement, but I think I don't think I'm the only one here that feels that way. This is the thing. This is the thing.
This is exactly the problem. The problem is you see a bad adaptation of a video game as a movie, and you always end up saying the same thing at the end. You've got a list of games and source material to pull from. How did you mess this up, bro? It's been done for you.
Yeah, exactly.
And thankfully, they used every bit of that source material in this one because everything was on point, man. Sorry, Lord, carry on.
Yeah, I think they knew where to pull the source material from, and they did make some remixes to it so it would fit in a movie format. They done that, I think, really well as well, because they changed some bits here and there that were slightly different from some of the lore, which I didn't mind. And I think, pulling from the source, it reminded me, obviously I'm not saying that this is the same caliber of movie, but No Way Home did this as well in terms of making sure they got the fan service right and making sure that they introduced all of the key things that they needed to, that any Sonic fan that played the game, whether it was in the 90s or whether you're talking about during Sonic Adventure, because obviously it's plucking like bits of lore from each of those games, and it's just so great to relive my childhood basically, playing those Sonic games and doing all like little stupid things that like probably won't mean much unless you play the game. But when Sonic was saving Knuckles when he swam down and he absorbed the
I was like,
dude, I was getting tingles. I was legit getting tingles. Like, man, they actually putting in real stuff from the game. So
I did that bit.
It was amazing, man.
It was good. So should we just talk a bit about the story first of all?
Yeah,
so obviously the story it basically picks up where the last movie left off, where Robotnik obviously being stranded on the Mushroom Planet, and it also
Mushroom Hill Zone.
picks up where Mushroom Hill.
I'll get it right.
And obviously Sonic is getting to grips with his powers more, and obviously they've made his character into a child. he is, child. He's only about 14, 15 in this adaptation, and I think they really are playing on that, so that the dynamic between him and James Marsden's character, father-son element, but basically him sort of abusing his powers, trying to be a superhero. They're playing on the fact acting like a teenage kid and he's not being responsible, and that is his main journey arc in terms of how to use his powers responsibly. But yeah, basically Knuckles comes into the picture, gets Robotnik off of the planet that he's stranded on, so that they could locate the Master Emerald, and then Tails comes to warn Sonic, and now it's a race to find the Master Emerald, which is basically the overall main thrust of the story. And I think that was a great plot. There were certain parts of it I was like, this is a bit ridiculous. The wedding scene.
The notorious wedding scene. Can't wait to get to that bit. Can't wait. Actually, Law, I wanted to ask you something because I was a bit confused. I was like, wait a minute, if this emerald is so destructive, why is Knuckles looking for it in the first place?
So Knuckles is meant to be the protector of the emerald.
I get that.
Originally in the game, he was meant to be the protector, and the fact that the emerald is so they've changed the law because introducing the owls, I don't believe I've ever.
Yeah, no, they're new. They're new. Yeah, they're not. It's not canon.
That is why I didn't. Yeah, so what they've done is they've switched up the story. So the owls, the emerald from they don't think they were worthy to have it, and they hid it on Earth. But obviously his tribe had it before. That's why he wants to get it back. So it's been a warring faction. So yeah, so that is new law, which again, I didn't mind that change. I don't think. Whenever you do a video game adaptation, I don't like movies that literally copy and paste an entire game and turn it into a movie. I was like, you got to remix a bit. I mean, that's just lazy. If you're
it was justifiable. It was a justifiable change, but I just don't because the emerald, it seemed to be safe where it was. So I don't understand why not only he went searching for it, but he led a potentially dangerous individual to it.
Well, this is the thing. Like, Knuckles,
why would he do that?
Knuckles' whole thing is that he's generally easily kind of manipulated.
He's naive and gullible.
Yeah.
And he thinks that everyone is honourable like he is.
Yeah.
But in terms of why it was safe, from his perspective, it wasn't safe because that temple belonged to the owls, which was his tribe's arch nemesis.
He went to recover
it.
And they've been trying to recover it this entire time, so that is why. And his whole tribe died trying it too.
I think he thought that Sonic was after it as well, didn't he? So that's why he had to kind of.
Yeah, well, Eggman, fully made that.
Well, Sonic was only after it because Knuckles was after it.
He didn't know about it. Yeah, he didn't even know about it.
Yeah, he didn't know. He didn't know about it until the inciting incident where Knuckles came after him.
That was the strange thing about this story, and I don't think they fully explained it, is that they made it seem like Sonic was the key to getting it, and he kind of was because he had that map that led to where the emerald was, but he had no idea. But I guess they assumed that he did know where it was because he had the map to it the entire time.
Why didn't that map do its thing in the first movie?
Thank you. Because they hadn't wrote the script yet. That part made no sense. That part made no sense. The fact that it just activated on cue, and they didn't explain why. There was a few things that didn't make sense. Straight off, even though I love the movie, like the whole wedding scene where they wanted to introduce Gun, which is the organization from Sonic Adventure 2, which is one of the government goons. They wanted to introduce them, but the way they introduced them was so ridiculous. They made one of their agents pretend to be the wife of the sister of the person in the home. Sonic was going to attend the wedding. I was like, that was
in your mouth.
So dumb.
They know somehow that there's going to be an avalanche and a ring's going to appear and then Sonic would happen.
I assume their plan was they just thought that he was going to attend the wedding. But my thing is, you know where the motherfucker lives. Why do you need to pretend to marry the sister of... That was just so dumb. It did actually make me laugh because when she found out, I thought that the wife would... when she found out that she got because of full Project Catfish. It was so...
Right, Project Catfish.
Everyone had the agent, bro.
You know, you guys.
The priest opens his Bible with a gun in it, bro. Like
you guys are gonna hate me, but I actually really enjoyed that part, the wedding scene, just because it's how ridiculous. Just because of how ridiculous, like. After what? Because you're like, oh, that's stupid. But after a while, you're just like, okay, this whole thing's just ridiculous. But they're really embracing how silly it is, and just kind of after a while, you just can't hold it in. You can't help but giggle. Especially, I don't know the name of the actress, but
it just felt like a rom-com.
Yeah, but you know what? Like usually, I hate the human characters in these type of movies. Like, but they gave the human characters personalities. They gave them their own kind of subplots with the whole wedding thing. Obviously, it kind of drags out the whole runtime of the movie as a whole. But I was actually having fun watching. I don't know. I could speak for myself, I guess. But I was having fun watching them.
And Subi, I know you're saying like rom-com element into the movie. But I just feel like it wasn't meant to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
I didn't see it as like a subplot to the film. It was just like it's like an ad on YouTube. Do you know what I mean? Like an ad comes up, you want to skip, but you have to watch.
I don't like that, man.
No, but what if it's a funny ad? If it's a funny ad, you can still like have a giggle and then just like move on. Because there are like the black woman who gets the black woman who gets catfished. I thought she was actually good. Like she was actually quite funny as well.
He was funny, yeah. I'll give her that, yeah.
Yeah, that was funny, but the dance off was a bit unnecessary.
To be fair, the dance off thing, I think the whole point of that was to build the friendship between Sonic and Tails.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that whole journey, that whole arc of the movie, so basically the first act where Sonic and Tails meet and then they go on this adventure to find the master and they needed to find a way to quickly build that bond.
Yeah.
And it was like, I'm not gonna lie, the dance was a bit corny, but we have to remember that this is directed at kids in terms of it's directed at both Sonic fans from the 90s, but obviously for kids to sell them Sonic and Tails toys as well. So, and that's why they had to introduce that dance. But they did need to do some sort of adventure, build that bond.
Yeah.
And I think they've done a good job of that because their bond at the end didn't seem forced. And a lot of movies get this wrong, that they don't build up believable relationships between the characters, and I think they actually done a good job here of doing that.
And to add something to that is that the dance-off is also important to kind of show off Tails' gadget abilities and to show off that gadget that multiplies him, because that obviously came into the end.
Yeah, it's a good setup. Yeah, it's a good setup for later. Okay, so as much as I enjoyed this movie, I did have a few problems with it. I had a few issues with it. Well, for me, the biggest issue is that obviously Sonic is the fastest thing on Earth until the plot needs him not to be. So there was so many remember I sent you that text here saying how Sonic's already being a prick here, because in the beginning there's a sequence where he's like chasing this like speeding van. There's a bomb in the van and he just dashes the bomb out the window. That bomb could have taken out any citizen, any pedestrian. Exactly. And later, like literally a few minutes later, they show him speeding down a mountain at light speed. So you mean to tell me this guy can like move at light speed up and down a mountain, but he has to dash a bomb out of a moving van? And on top of that, he could have easily outrun that avalanche. Like it just didn't make any sense to me.
I do feel like as well. I do like the game.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
there's no reason for Sonic to ever need to snowboard or skateboard. It's just because Sonic likes to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a snowboard sequence in every Sonic game.
Yeah.
And it's like, obviously Sonic's faster on his feet than he is on a snowboard or a skateboard or whatever board he's on. Yeah. But he's just basically a carefree child. He just does what he wants when he wants, because no one can stop him. So But
I will say it was really weird, like to show, and I'm gonna call it Sonic time, not bullet time. But when they showed like like when it all slowed down and he was jumping from robot, it does make you think like I mean it's like this about Superman. It's like, wow, if everything seems this slow to you when you're using your abilities, why are you ever having a hard time with anything?
This is it, exactly.
Even Knuckles as well, though. Like I did find it a bit weird. Like obviously Sonic's speed was meant to be his unique thing for the movie, but I feel like they kind of put a part of that onto Knuckles as well.
Well,
like,
in the games, like for example, there's a game Sonic and Knuckles, Tails and Knuckles can all keep up with Sonic, so it's not kind of out of, believability. I mean,
let's assume that Sonic isn't going as fast as
Knuckles doesn't go as fast.
That's a bit weak, bruv. That's a bit weak for me, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I mean,
in the Sega, that's all of the games.
Yeah, it's in the game.
In the Sega games, it was it was limited in what they could do. So they made everyone have like kind of the charge up speed ability, so they could all keep up with Sonic. It was all about running and speed. That was the point of the game. But when it started to hit other consoles like Dreamcast, they really ironed out what the other characters could do and limited obviously their speed to make it a bit more.
They still ran pretty fucking fast though, bro.
It
still ran very fast.
But for example, no one could really like charge up and speed like Sonic could. All of his abilities were speed. For example, Knuckles' main ability was meant to be the wall crawling, the kind of hovering.
Yeah, but he can still do the spin. He can still do the spin dash as well.
You can. No. Knuckles doesn't do the spin dash.
But then
Knuckles doesn't. Knuckles can't spin.
Sonic unique. What makes Sonic unique in his abilities then? If like
because he can do the charge ups. He can do this charge up spin.
Then let him use it on screen, bro. Let him use that on screen.
He just selects when he wants to use it. Doesn't use it for some reason.
So, what do you guys think of the characters, like voice actors and whatnot? Did you guys think they did it?
Man. I like the fact that they chose Tails from the games to do Tails here because.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Voice actor.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and Idris Elba killed it as an
I was surprised. I thought he was really good. Like he had a good balance because at first I thought his dialogue was a bit wooden, a lot of exposition, but they deliberately do that obviously to show that he's from this ancient tribe, that he's obviously like he kind of reminded me of Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah.
I thought the writing was pretty good.
Definitely.
In terms of showing his naive, gullible side, and like he's an honourable warrior, but because he's foreign to how Earth works and how things are, he just believes everything at face value and takes things.
Absolutely.
And I feel like Idris Elba actually made his voice made the character funny. Like I didn't think that he would be able to kind of bring that humor to the character, but a lot of his dialogue actually made me laugh. Like, do you know what I mean? Because of the kind of gullible naivety side of the character. So
I think it's that kind of like because they, Hollywood tends to have your British villains, so I think they kind of wanted him to seem more menacing by having that really well-spoken sort of dialect, and that obviously kind of fed into his that regal quality that he brought to the screen. But for me, I think Jim Carrey killed it as always, man. Like every scene he was in, I was just busting up. Like you could tell he had a lot of free reign. They let him just do what he wanted to do, and he basically just like had a lot of ad libs, a lot of like sort of gag reels and stuff like that. But I feel like there'd be like a sequence, like for example him with the assistant, making the lattes and like the way he would just like mug off his assistant, I was cracking up on the screen, man. But definitely would watch it again just for him.
So I was going to say, that's one thing to be thankful about these films, is that we're kind of seeing prime Jim Carrey again.
Absolutely, for sure.
Missed for a while.
Yeah, because in the first movie, I wasn't sold on Jim Carrey as Dr. Eggman, I'm not going to lie. I kept thinking that this just seems a bit more like Jim Carrey, but this second movie actually made me, I'm on board now. I'm happy. I'm actually a bit worried now because he might be retiring, and I think he's going to be a Sonic 3. But he also said that he wouldn't mind doing like being a fat Eggman, like because obviously he's skinny in these ones. So he said that he might. So who knows? He might come back for the third, because the third one kind of needs him, I think. Even though they kind of they done that thing where you see the villain fall, but you don't actually see his body. So they could use that to either say he did die or he didn't.
What about Eggman? What did you feel about the big giant Eggman robot?
Oh man, that was a cherry on. That was the icing on the top, man. That was a cherry because I was like this. Yeah, the final boss battle.
They got it. They got it. They know exactly.
They really hit. Yeah.
That is a final boss. There we go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The surprise that was in none of the trailers that I saw from Sonic at the end.
Yeah. I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't reveal
done a
it.
good job. Yeah, the trailer's done a good job at like kind of painting a story, but not giving you the full picture, but still making it seem interesting.
Yeah.
The trailer was pretty cool.
And the thing is, because the film is 2 hours long, so there's obviously a lot of content there, which is obviously, I guess that's why it wasn't in the trailer. But yeah.
When Sonic showed up on screen with it in his hand, we were just like, "You're about to do this, aren't you?"
Super Sonic, yeah.
What's that? Oh yeah.
Lord.
Spoilers.
Dude,
Spoilers.
that was the icing on the top, Peter, bro. That was it, bro. It was like, I was like, there's no way we're gonna see. Maybe the next one. They're not gonna, but they did, bro.
Sorry, breaking a bit.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Again.
Yeah. You know, I was just saying, I didn't think they would give us Sonic in this movie, but they did. So.
Would you say his Supersonic was Deus Ex Machina for this movie in a way? Do you know what I mean by that? Whereby the problems of the movie were easily solved by like a kind of gimmick. I guess obviously it's from the games, so you know, but
yeah, I mean, yeah, it is as Deus Ex Machina, but because all of the games, Supersonic solves the problem.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, you are right in that it is, but because they were staying true to the game, that is what would happen in the final boss, and then you think you've beaten the final boss, but then Eggman's still alive and you didn't turn into Supersonic and you beat whatever the actual final boss is. This is basically the in all of the games 101 basically, and yeah, I wasn't sure if they were gonna, but the fact that this just pushed that. When I left the movie, I was hyped when I saw that and the end credit sequence. I was like, thank. I was like,
for sure, man.
I did want to ask you guys: is that something Knuckles can do, where he just punched out the emerald out of Robotnik? Is that like a? Does that seem kind of?
That's not from the game.
I've never seen anyone absorb. Yeah, I've never seen anyone absorb the Master Emerald has never been absorbed by someone.
It's usually it's not used, and the Master Emerald was usually a lot bigger. It wasn't usually that small, but so that I think it changed the way.
Just a normal
it changed the way it worked, but. It was normal. It was a power bump.
Well, it would have been nice if maybe they put something cool in the story to explain why he could do that. Maybe it's something unique to a tribe. You know what I mean? That would have been cool.
I'm just saying, the lights out and the emerald just happened to pop out.
Yeah, well, a bit too easy.
Epic.
Yeah, it's too epic. But yeah, when the Chaos Emerald. Master Emerald kind of shattered and the Chaos Emerald dropped out, I was gassed. I was like, oh yeah, I know where this is getting from.
Yeah, like, when I saw that, I was like, oh, because I was wondering, I was like, how are they worried. I was wondering, like, how are they introducing the Chaos Emeralds? Because usually the Chaos Emeralds are like, and I figured it was a good thing because obviously in all the games you collect the Chaos Emerald in each one in each level or throughout the game. So I'm glad that they actually just had that the Chaos Emerald are a part of the Master Emerald, so they didn't have to go on some long collecting each individual Chaos Emerald and all that.
Although, do expect the next movie to be like Dragon Ball Z, bro. Them motherfuckers flew off like scattered across the universe. Expecting someone to have like a Dragon Ball kind of next movie.
Well, because they kind of need them separated because
you can't be OP next movie. Yeah, you have to start at level 1.
It's first, when they're introducing Shadow uses one of the Chaos Emeralds as a weapon. So that's why I think they're setting that up.
Yeah.
So we have
so much they can do with Shadow. Shit.
Is that what happens? After Shadow uses the Chaos Emerald, does Sonic go and find the other ones? Do you think it's gonna happen?
No. Well, basically, when Shadow's first introduced in Sonic Adventure 2, basically he's committing like crimes, and the GUN, the gun unit. They think that's Sonic doing it. So they arrest Sonic thinking that he's Shadow. And that is when Sonic breaks out of prison and then tries to track down the guy who's doing this. And he's collecting the Chaos Emerald.
Sonic taking out.
So I wonder if how they're going to play that, because that's how Shadow's introduced.
It sounds like knows about Shadow already. They said there was some documents about something from way back when.
Yeah, because that's also true, because he was created as the original Ultimate Life Form like 50 years by basically Robotnik's grandfather.
Yeah.
So that's why there was documents on Robotnik's server. I think is where they found it, because it was his grandfather that was actually created Shadow. I believe.
I can't remember. Was Knuckles, not Knuckles, Shadow? He was trying to collect the Chaos Emeralds to cure his friend or something, or no, he was taking revenge. He collected them to take revenge on humanity or something, because his friend died or something.
Maria, I think she was in cryostasis or something, and I think I can't remember the specifics of it though. It's been a while since.
He wasn't just like black and white villain. He had his own kind of.
No, he was more like an anti-hero.
So that's why I'm glad they introduced him at the end, because he's like a really good adversary.
And I hear that Keanu Reeves might be cast as Shadow. I'm not sure if
really
or not.
Dude, Keanu Reeves is getting rumored to be playing everybody. Like, I think
basically,
yeah.
But when I heard that, I was like, that makes sense. Just like if they could actually,
that would be cool though. Yeah.
I hope he can. That one, he hasn't been a great actor, live action, but when I saw him in the Batman, because he's playing Batman in the new DC thing, and he's kind of pulling off the voice acting. So I think voice acting wise, he's doing a good job. So that'll be an awesome cast.
So I think we're sort of in the way. We need to get back to Sonic.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
I just want to ask. Do you think they're going to give Shadow a gun, bro?
No. Unfortunately, they can't go Shadow the Hedgehog.
Oh, man.
Honestly, if they gave him a gun, I would give it a 50 out of 10, 100 out of 10. Straight. If he gets a gun and starts capping people, I'll be done. Yo, they went in.
It's a PG, man. They're not allowed to do that.
I mean, maybe laser gun.
Source material, man. Do you know what I mean? So why not do what you want?
Oh man! And the stories laid out for him, laid out for them as well. And obviously, Sonic's framed as a crazy gunman, just shooting people for no reason. Why not? Because why not? Oh man! You know, one thing I wanted to touch on actually is the vast jump in quality of the animation. I don't know if you guys remember. When the first Sonic movie came out, the initial trailer showed the ugly render of Sonic. So because of the backlash, yes, even having flashbacks is just cringe inducing. But first time in history, the developers working on it actually changed the character model. But as a result, when I watched the first movie in the cinema, you could tell it was still in its early stages. So the way it was integrated into the film with the live action background, it just didn't feel like they were there. It needed a lot more time, and it needed a lot more rendering, I guess, to make it believable, to make it feel like Sonic was actually a part of the world. But in this movie, you can see they really fixed that. They really made the lighting. The lighting is just on point. It just looks really believable.
Amazing as well.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one of the things I really noticed in this one. The other thing that jarred me is that there was a bit where Sonic is changing his hairstyle. When he's at home, he gives himself an afro, and I'm like, no. I'm like, that is not hair. It's meant to be spikes. You can't turn your spikes into hair. So it kind of made me think. So that means that when he's spinning, is that just hair on his back then? Has he just got a hairy back?
Yeah, I don't know how you can do that.
Yeah.
Is that quills?
Yeah, they're meant to be quills. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, it doesn't work the same way.
He's a hedgehog.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed the movie, man. I actually really enjoyed it. I'm still trying to convince.
I did really like all to all the levels. I know we spoke about skateboarding, a snowy level, but that was pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
On screen, and then obviously the kind of whole space where they had the temple as well. That was kind of the Mystic Temple kind of area.
Yeah.
Adventure. That was all pretty cool. So I think that was. The different locations were really good.
Exactly, and even the final battle, where the point of view with the camera it's showing you like following them. It actually it feels like you're playing the game again. It's just
actually
amazing. Amazing attention to detail, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm not sure if any of you lot played the games, but the game Sonic Hero. But I was getting that vibe for the final battle where you saw Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails all running,
teaming up together.
I was like, that was like, I just reminded me straight of. I was like, this is, and I'm pretty sure that boss is one of the bosses in Sonic Heroes as well. But it was great. It was great.
You know what? How sick would it have been, if they showed like one of those sequences? You know when the camera's trying to keep up with Sonic, but it can't. But like Sonic is basically off the screen. that would have been sick, man.
For the next movie.
Yeah, for the next one.
That could be one of the Easter eggs, bro. But what did you? I know, like obviously not integral in like that stuff. But what did you guys think about the soundtrack? Because I was saying the only thing which didn't feel very Sonic-y to me was actually the soundtrack. I think in Sonic, I'm used to hearing a bit more kind of like rock and roll-y kind of soundtrack. That's the only thing for me which kind of felt like it was missing. But I mean, obviously what they did worked on the big screen, but if they really wanted to put source material, some rock music, bro. What do you think?
I liked the ending credit, the music at the end. I can't remember actually what it was, but I remember it being something enjoyable. But I think they've tried to give like a hip hop sort of poppy twist on, like they get like well-known artists to kind of make their own music that's influenced by the games, I guess.
Yeah, because I think they were trying to build that nostalgia gap of playing like music from the era of the people that would have played the games from that era. But I do agree, because obviously all of the Sonic games, they had that hardcore, like that rock and roll stuff. I think for the big screen, I don't think it probably would have worked as well. I mean, it would have worked for us, but I think obviously the overall audience probably would have appreciated it. So I do see your point though. Yeah, I mean, some of those rock and roll tunes from Sonic, they did slap.
Maybe just give me one number. Just give me one number. That's all I want, bro. You know what I mean?
I'm sure a YouTube video will be done of the movie with the Sonic.
Oh yeah, for real.
YouTube will fix that, because
Oh, one thing. What do you think about them? Obviously they've gone specifically down like kind of the shadow route. Do you think they should have introduced Chaos as as an antagonist?
Not yet.
I think it would have been too much. I think having too many villains. I think giving them a significant amount of time to build them up, I think would have been a problem. So I think they've done the right thing.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna introduce Chaos. I think they're probably gonna go with Shadow as the as probably a similar sort of anti-hero type, same like Knuckles was in the beginning, but then there'll be a big bad at the end. Whether they do go with the Shadow the Hedgehog story and introduce aliens, or whether they'll introduce the prototype that Robotnik's grandfather built, it'll be interesting. I think who they will introduce though is Amy.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that. Yeah, thing is, like, there's so many characters and so much lore to mine from with the whole Sonic franchise. Like, you've got obviously the games, you've got the comics, you've got
the animation,
the shows as well. So there's so many, like, you've got I don't know if you know about the Chaotix crew, if you ever read the comics. So they have some really great character designs in that, and obviously Amy, one of the sort of most famous Sonic, Rose as well from the games, the Bat. She's actually a really good character. Yeah, Rouge. Yeah. She's a good character.
Rouge the Bat.
Exactly.
Because so I think those probably would be, because obviously I think in movies the problem is you can't introduce too many characters, because then you can't get enough time to build them up.
I feel like sorry to interrupt you. I feel like the whole movie Sonic franchise, obviously with the success of this movie, the inevitable success, I feel like this has a lot of longevity. So I feel like that they have the potential to gradually introduce more characters as the film, the franchise goes, extends.
They've also got spin-off series as well, because Knuckles goes on spin-off, so there's gonna be lots of chances to.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So depending on how many movies they make, you're they could drip feed like two characters per movie or 2 or 3, definitely. And so I think they got so much to pull from. Like if we start going back into the comics, Jesus.
Sonic first hands, guys. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Yeah. I'll say it's pretty cool.
If we're getting Fantastical Beast movies or whatever, why Sonic movies, bro?
Would you watch this again then?
Bruv, I'm definitely watching this again.
Absolutely.
I don't know if I've said that about a movie that we've reviewed yet. Probably except Spider-Man, I've probably said that about. Apart from that, I'm on point, bro. I'd watch this again and again and again.
Definitely.
This is my childhood.
I'd say this. If are you guys ready to get into like final thoughts, or did you want to? Because I think it's like it's 5:30 now. So basically. So I just want to say, this is a bit of a big statement, but so far this is like my favorite film of the year thus far, and that's saying actually has there been?
That's not controversial, bro.
No, it's not. I don't think it's. I don't think it's a ridiculous thing to declare because again this is probably the most fun I've had in the cinema. Given the fact that the film was over 2 hours, or almost 2 hours, so it was actually long, but I really didn't feel the wrong time because it just felt like you were on an adventure. Like even with the human moments, which did slow the pacing, but I feel like if the human moments are really played well, they can sort of make you anticipate the main story even more. And I think they did a great job of balancing those elements, those elements of the humans and the actual Sonic crew to overall give a really enjoyable, fun experience. The writing was on point. The fan service was great. The movie looked good. The CG was great, and overall it just managed to increase the stakes as the film went on, and the performances from Jim Carrey, Idris Elba. I can't remember the name of the actual guy who did Sonic's voice, but again he was good as well. I for me this was easily 10 out of 10, man. I know obviously they had issues with it, but I've been a Sonic fan from day, like, so this just the inner child in me just was bursting at the seams with joy, man. I was just loving every minute of it. So that's my rating. Actually, let's say a 9 out of 10 because again, I said earlier the speed thing rubbed me the wrong way. Obviously, I know for narrative purposes they had to have situations where Sonic couldn't easily get out of, but it doesn't eliminate the fact that it's just plot holes in the movie. So that's 9 out of 10 for me. Sorry guys.
Fair.
I don't think we should go back to back with two fanboys.
Save it for later.
We'll balance it out. I'll let someone else go first.
I can go real quick. I had a blast in this movie. I did mention that I wasn't a big fan of all the human scenes, but thankfully it wasn't too long, so it didn't diminish the movie for me. So I had a whole blast at the end. I'm not biggest Sonic fan. I mean, I love Sonic. So I mean, in the sense like I can't compare to you guys, but I do consider myself an above average Sonic fan. So I did manage to appreciate all the Easter eggs and everything that happened, and got hyped as hell with Shadow and Super Sonic. So I mean, just remembering all those feelings I had during this film, I think I can give this a solid 8 out of 10 for me.
10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead then.
Yeah. Fully enjoyed this movie from start to end. Obviously, the human bits, they brought it down a bit. Specifically, the dance off. I understand why they did it, but I didn't enjoy it as much. The wedding thing, that was funny. Again, here and there. I'd still give this a solid 9 out of 10 though, because it was just, as soon as you saw Robotnik in his robot and then Supersonic, it was set from then. So fully enjoyed that movie. Looking forward to seeing it again soon.
Yeah, this is looking to be almost unanimous. Yeah, I'm right back there with 9 out of 10, man. I think it was an amazing film. I really enjoyed like seeing the characters on screen, having Knuckles like making an appearance and having Shadow making an appearance. I just feel like that was kind of stuff they didn't have to do with the movie. Like they could have easily cut some bits out and it still would have felt like a complete film. But just having those bits on the end with like, Supersonic like rocking up towards the end. Again, I think Lawrence said that, but that's quite reminiscent of what they used to do in the games. Like, you beat the big bad, and then they've got like a second or third form, and then Chaos Emerald will start falling from the sky, and it's like shit, like what's about to happen, bro? And then you see man start to glow yellow. So yeah, for me, it was enjoyable to see. I loved it. I loved all the references to the different levels, like down, just literally from having like obviously Sonic's like where he lives in this movie, he's using Green Hill, which is reminiscent of obviously like the kind of Green Hill zone of the games. That's quite cool. And yeah, the ice area, the whole thing like towards the Mystic Temple, all of that stuff was just fun to watch on screen. So yeah, solid 9 out of 10 for me. I think the only thing missing for me was just maybe having a bit more of a rocky soundtrack, even if it's just one number. And yeah, for Supersonic, I would have loved to have seen like that bubble he has around him. That was kind of missing for me. I mean, it's not. I'm nitpicking, but that would have been pretty cool to see like on the screen. So yeah, 9 out of 10 for me.
Nice. Okay, bro, full on fanboy, bro. I'm gonna say it straight, bro. I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. When I came out of the cinema with Cameron, I said straight away I'll give it probably a 9 out of 10. But after thinking about it more and reminiscing, I thought I'd actually be a bit more level-headed. I actually just geeked out even more. This movie had me watching YouTube videos of and reminiscing games. Like,
your audio breaking a bit.
Oh, sorry. Is that better?
Yeah, carry on.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you've got too much hype for the mic, bro.
Too much
Can't keep up with you.
Like I said, it's a full 10 out of 10 for me. I think they hit all of the points I needed them to hit. I like the first movie, but I think that the problem that a lot of people had with the first is that it felt like it was as much focused on Sonic as it was the human characters. I think in this movie they made it a point to focus on Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Eggman basically, and that the human scenes they were a far more less of a focus. And when they were involved, especially with James Marsden, it was actually important to Sonic's building of his character arc and him realizing how important his powers are and how to use them for good. I thought the third act blew my mind. Just seeing Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles team up against Eggman's robots reminded me of Sonic Heroes. The final battle where they teamed up to take the robot down, but it wasn't enough. Then him transforming into Supersonic and taking it out, that blew my mind. And then the end credit scene when they introduced Jad, I was like, they're doing that. They're getting it on point. And I was like, thank you so much for letting me see this. Because I never thought I'd see a proper big screen Sonic movie. And the fact that they actually done it justice, I'm so happy. So yeah, this is a 10 out of 10 for me. Even though I do have critics, I do obviously acknowledge that there are plot holes and some issues with some of the story. I don't care. I love the movie. I'll give it a 10.
I feel like I'm the opposite. If I was asked to give a score having just watched the movie, I would give it a 10 out of 10. It's only kind of with hindsight and obviously reflecting on it, I would put it down to a 9. But I can see why. I think a 10. Definitely for the enjoyment it brought to people in the screening. So yeah,
same. Because the only reason I gave it 8, the only reason I deducted 2 points is because 1 was I wasn't a fan of the wedding scene, and 2 is because I'm not sold on Ben. I love Ben Schwartz, but I just didn't like how humorous Sonic is. He's not the Sonic I remember, Yeah, that's the only reason I
was thinking that as well. Like Sonic, like he's not completely serious. Obviously the depiction that he's known for, but yeah, he has more of a like, I don't know how to put it. Like he's like in this one he's more comic relief than anything else. Yeah. Whereas like Sonic is quite arrogant in like as he's known, he's like quite an arrogant person. A character.
But again, it leaves a lot of room for character development.
Yeah, exactly.
I wasn't happy when that this is like young Sonic. I was like, this isn't Sonic I know. But because of how good this movie is, like you said, they've got a lot of room to make another sequel and a fourth movie. So there's a lot of room to see the character development, which will lead us up to that point where he does become the Sonic that we are used to seeing in the game on screen. So that's quite exciting to look forward to.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and there's also like a cockiness about him as well. Like he's like very arrogant, very confident, cocky. But this one seems a bit unsure of himself. He seems a bit like, he's like,
I mean, he's just starting out. He will get that cooking soon, don't worry.
Yeah.
Kind of like Batman, innit?
Oh boy, yeah, man. Shots fired.
Yeah, don't make that. Let's leave on a high note.
But I did, you know what? I thought even though he was funny, like I thought the writing was really good in this movie. Like I was surprised. I was surprised at how far. Like even when he because in the trailer, I laughed at the bit where he was like, "Oh great, it's the Winter Soldier." When he saw like Knuckles coming, and I laughed at the joke again. Like it takes a lot for me to laugh at a joke twice. Yeah.
So there you have it, guys. Pretty unanimous from the gang. We all love this movie. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch this review of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And if you just let us know your thoughts and feelings on the movie in the comments below. Until then, we'll see you at the next review. Thanks a lot, guys.